All right, Pace Guitar Repair fans. It is Paint Booth Day. And up on the finishing desk here, which used to be Wang's old desk, we have got this gorgeous Epiphone Les Paul. I wish I could have shown it to you before we bagged it up. But, you know, hey, you'll see it in the finished product. Now, this guitar must have suffered a fall because you can see right here, there was a crack in the neck. They have repaired that, and by the time Ron gets done with this thing, it'll look brand new, and you'll never, ever be able to tell. So stick around. It's all kinds of great stuff being painted today. BC Rich guitars, Les Pauls, some Strat bodies, all kinds of great stuff going on at Pace Guitar Repair. It's Paint Booth Day. Stick around. Here's a beautiful Les Paul custom. I'm going to venture and say that it's vintage. Love the double cream in the neck, and it's got some it's got some love marks on it. That's not what it's in here for. We're going to go ahead and pause video so I can flip this thing over and we can show you what exactly happened to this bad boy. That Les Paul got a little love going on right there, but as you can see, this one also suffered a massive fall, and looks like the headstock and the neck were damaged. But as you can see, everything's primed up and ready to go for some black paint, and they're gonna take care of this one today too. So we'll get this one all wrapped up and into the paint booth. Fans, we are in the infamous, one of the only paint booths in the Houston area that I'm aware of anyway. I'm sure there's others, but you know, look at all these beauties that we got to get painted. Ooh, that Takamine right there. That was loved a lot. There's that Les Paul we saw in the earlier shot. Got a Stratocaster body right here. Here's a custom BC Rich Warlock. Look at that thing. We saw that in the other video. That's gonna be cool. We've got some, well, let's get a little vulgar, a little dirty. These are some naked bodies up here. Yeah. Gonna be painting some black guitars, some brown guitars, some red guitars. This jazz bass I think is gonna be red. And if we pan all the way over here, you can see the infamous Ron Pace mixing some paint up. Yes, sir. Got a couple of BC Rich headstocks to paint, and out there, this beautiful red BC Rich Warlock, which I forgot what Ron said the color was, and now it is coming back to me. I think it is called Tornado Red. And that right there is it. So stick around. So I'm outside the paint booth because, as you can see, Ron is wearing a mask, and the fumes of the paint are not something that you want to breathe in too heavily. But as you can see, that smooth flow. All right, so look at how gorgeous this thing looks. I mean, wow, unbelievable. And I come in here and Ron goes, hey, it's not just gonna be this color red, there's gonna be a sunburst effect to it. Whew, whoever owns this bass, man, is gonna have a beautiful instrument. So what I didn't realize in that last clip, when Ron said that he was doing a sunburst, was he's actually doing a sunburst of the red. So the color of this is actually called apple candy, or apple red candy, I think. And so the edges of this bass are gonna be darker than the middle and the back on the top. It's gonna be so gorgeous when it's done. All right, so Ron has done like, what Gibson refers to as like a wine burst, where the edges are darker and it's lighter in the middle. This jazz bass is going to look phenomenal. I mean, unbelievable, just gorgeous. Edges are darker, the brightens up in the middle. Man, beautiful. Next, we've got this beautiful BC Rich Warlock that I guess suffered a little fall. And so we're touching it back up to make it look like it did before anything ever happened to it. So stick around. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Wow. This guitar is going to be awesome when it's done. Like it never happened. That's the kind of work you get at Pace Guitar Repair. All righty, look at that, man. It's just going to be, pulling the tape off, doing a little wet sanding, maybe some clear buffing, whatever.
Oh, it's going to need clear over the whole guitar.
So, well, you heard it there. It's going to need clear over the entire guitar. So, but yeah, this thing's going to look great when it's done. All right, so up next here on this episode, where we're in the paint booth today, is this Stratocaster body, which is going to be brown. Now, I don't know if that means it's going to be like transparent brown or if it's just going to be a solid brown, but we're going to find out. It's just showing me this picture, and this is what the customer is anticipating color-wise. Now, this guitar picture here looks like an Ernie Ball Music Man that has a quilted maple top on it. And if you notice, this guitar is just a plain top. So it won't have the quilted maple look, but we're gonna go for that color. You can notice it's a little darker on the edges, a little lighter in the middle, so a pseudo sunburst, if you will. All right, so up next it's brown, and you can see the Strat body there that we talked about in the last clip. But you can also see Ron has an Epiphone Les Paul where the neck was cracked, so he's painting that to match as best it can. Now for this guitar that the customer wanted brown. This color is called Root Beer Candy, and I can already tell you it looks beautiful. So here's the picture of this sort of sunbursted, brown guitar. Like I said, I think it's an Ernie Ball Music Man. And then this is the first coat, and that looks unbelievable. Now, I know Ron's trying to really match that picture and really get that burst to kind of go in far and have the edges be darker. So we're gonna have to wait for this one to dry and hit it again. All right, so we got a second coat. Looks fantastic. We're letting it dry in this position. But as you can see, the front of that guitar is gorgeous, man. This is gonna be such an awesome Strat with this Root Beer Candy burst. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so as you can see, Ron has actually hit this thing with a few more coats, and the front of that guitar looks absolutely stunning. I mean, it's amazing, especially when you compare it to the picture over here. It's coming together really, really nicely. If we do like a side-by-side, I'm sure the gentleman I think we got one more layer of sunburst around the edges to kind of make it look exactly like this, but I'm pretty sure whoever's guitar this is going to be extremely happy with it. All right, so after one more round and just a few more coats, you can see the artistry just take shape here. That is the perfect, what I would consider, since the name of the color of this is Root Beer Candy, I would call that the perfect root beer burst, front and back. I mean, that's just amazing. Super impressive. Time to get this thing hanging and drying, and then we shoot black. First up, we had that Epiphone. Just had to get the headstock painted where a little tiny headstock repair was made to that. And we had to tape everything up there just so Ron could get the bottom end of the headstock right there. And then, of course, the Epiphone logo we just taped over because it won't matter. Once we put clear on it, that thing's going to look so beautiful anyway. So let's see what's up next. That Takamine, we hit that one time, and it looks like it's like it's done. I don't even know what's going on right now. Next up is this Fender, where it looks like that guitar suffered a fall and a crack. So now we're just kind of touching that up, and you'll notice that the back of that neck is satin finished, and so this won't need any clear. It'll just have to be just resatin finished, which is fantastic. Moving on, one of the BC Rich headstocks, which just needs to be black so that we can get the proper logos on there and everything else. And as you can see, that looks like that's probably done as well. That was pretty good and pretty fast. Ron tells me that the easiest color to paint is black. Now for the neck for the BC Rich Blaster, which just needs to be painted black so we can get it re-logoed with the proper size logos and whatnot. And that looks like that is a done deal. So moving on, it's probably going to be the custom BC Rich Warlock. That is what he's grabbing. We've got to paint the back of that body. You can see that Warlock, that leopard print. That's going to look so good once it's sunbursted in. And we've got to get the back painted black, and then of course the sides painted as well and ghosted in on the front to make it look like it is a sunburst. So stick around, we'll show you some more close-up footage in the next clip. What we're doing right now is spraying the edge of the wrap black so it's ghosted in so you don't see it. It just sort of fades off the surface of the guitar like a sunburst. It's gonna look so good when it's done. So there it is, as you can see. Obviously this will look way better once it's got a clear coat and we've glossed it over. But there it is in all of its glory, the leopard print sunburst, I guess you would call it. Looks absolutely fantastic. Moving, I've got this awesome Carvin 7-string. Not really sure why it was here. It doesn't look like any kind of neck repair was made to it. Maybe the owner just wanted it to be a gloss black instead of a satin black. I don't know. But it is a 7-string and it is a Carvin and it is a complete monster of a guitar. And it's going to look absolutely amazing by the time Ron's done painting it. And there it is. As you can see, it looks fantastic. That Carvin looks beautiful. That Takamine, man, this guy is going to be so happy when he gets his 12-string back. It's going to be awesome. And the custom BC Rich leopard print Warlock guitar. Whoa. And then what do we have over here? The headstocks for the leopard print Warlock right there at 24 frets. And then at 22 frets, the headstock for the BC Rich Blaster. So time to get those decals back on and put these guitars together. We're good to go. So thanks for hanging out with us in the paint booth today. Stay tuned, more's coming soon.